Beloved soul, before your thoughts react to the intensity of these words, take a slow breath and let your heart settle, because what you are about to understand is not about fear, not about missing out, and not about losing something if you look away. It is about awareness. When you read that something shocking happened and only you don't know, your mind naturally moves toward urgency, toward the feeling that you are behind or unaware. But truth in your life does not hide from you to punish you. Truth reveals itself when you are ready to understand it clearly. This message is not here to create panic. It is here to bring you into a moment of stillness where you can see something you may have been overlooking. There are times when life shifts quietly, not loudly. Not everything important arrives with noise or dramatic signs. Sometimes the most important realizations happen in silence, in small moments where your perspective changes. What is being described as something shocking is not necessarily an external event you missed. It may be an internal realization that is ready to surface. You may have sensed something recently, a subtle feeling that something is different, that something is changing, but you may have brushed it aside because it did not feel urgent. This message is inviting you to look at that feeling again, not with fear, but with clarity. The idea that this is your last chance is not meant to create pressure. Life does not work through threats. Growth does not disappear because you paused. What this really represents is a moment of awareness that you have the opportunity to accept now instead of delaying. Sometimes we ignore signs, not because they are not there, but because we are distracted or uncertain. When awareness finally reaches us clearly, it can feel intense, not because it is dangerous, but because it asks us to pay attention. You are not losing anything. You are gaining clarity. You may begin to reflect on areas of your life where a path, or even yourself. These shifts are often quiet at first. They do not demand attention, they wait for it. The truth you are being guided toward is not hidden from you, it is simply waiting for you to recognize it without distraction. And recognition requires calm, not panic. As you continue to sit with this message, notice how your mind becomes more focused and less reactive. That is where clarity begins. You are not being asked to rush into conclusions. You are being invited to observe, to reflect, and to trust your awareness. When you allow yourself to see things as they are, without forcing meaning or creating fear, the truth becomes simple. It does not overwhelm you. It guides you. There is no moment here where everything disappears if you look away. There is only a moment where you can choose to be present. Being present means you are aware of what is happening within you and around you. It means you are not avoiding what you already sense. And when you stay present, you naturally begin to understand what matters and what needs your attention. So instead of reacting to urgency, stay grounded. Instead of feeling like you are missing something, recognize that you are becoming aware of something. The truth is not being taken away from you. It is becoming clearer to you. And that clarity is what will guide your next step, calmly, steadily, and without fear. Beloved soul, as you continue into this message, allow your mind to move beyond the surface words and settle into a deeper understanding, because what felt like urgency at first is now revealing itself as a call toward awareness and reflection. When you read that something shocking happened and only you don't know, it can create a feeling that you are behind or disconnected from something important, but in truth, nothing that truly belongs to your path remains hidden from you forever. Sometimes what we call not knowing is actually a moment where we have not yet allowed ourselves to fully see what is already present. There are truths in your life that you have sensed quietly, perhaps even recognized briefly, but did not fully accept or explore. This message is not introducing something new out of nowhere, it is guiding you back to something you may have already felt. Think about the subtle signals you have experienced recently. Small changes in behavior around you. Slight differences in how situations unfold. A feeling that something is not exactly as it was before. These moments may have seemed too small to focus on at the time, but awareness grows when we begin to connect these small details. What feels shocking is often not a sudden event, but a realization that becomes clear when all the small pieces come together. And when that clarity arrives, it can feel intense, not because it is harmful, but because it changes how you see things. The idea of this being your last chance is not about something being taken away, it is about a moment of readiness. There are times in life when we are not prepared to face certain truths, even if they are right in front of us. We delay understanding, not because we cannot see, but because we are not ready to process what we see. Now, something within you has shifted. You are more grounded. You are more aware. You are more capable of understanding without reacting emotionally. That is why this moment feels stronger. It is not the last chance in a literal sense, but it is a powerful opportunity to recognize something clearly instead of continuing to overlook it. You may begin to notice that your perspective is already changing. You are looking at situations with more clarity. You are questioning things you once accepted without thinking. You are paying attention to details that you might have ignored before. This is not coincidence. This is growth. When your awareness increases, your understanding naturally deepens. The truth you are being guided toward does not need to be forced. It reveals itself when you are calm enough to observe without distraction. There is also an important reminder here about staying grounded in your own perception. Not every truth needs to come from outside confirmation. Sometimes the clearest understanding comes from your own observation and reflection. When you trust your awareness, you begin to see things more accurately. You are not easily influenced by noise or assumptions. You are able to separate what feels right from what does not. This clarity is what allows you to move forward with confidence instead of confusion. As you sit with this message, notice how the initial intensity has softened into something more stable. That stability is important. It means you are not reacting out of fear. You are understanding from a place of calm. The truth you are becoming aware of is not here to disturb you, it is here to guide you. It is here to help you see your situation more clearly so that you can make decisions that align with your growth. You are not missing anything. You are not behind. You are simply reaching a point where you can see more than you did before. And as that clarity continues to develop, you will realize that what once felt hidden was always within your reach, waiting for you to notice it with the awareness you now have. Beloved soul, as you move deeper into this message, something begins to settle within you, because what once felt like urgency is now transforming. into understanding. The idea that something shocking happened is no longer about fear or surprise, it is about realization. There are moments in life when the truth does not arrive as new information, but as a clearer view of something that was already present. You may begin to recognize that the feeling you had, the small doubts, the subtle awareness that something was different, were not random. They were signals. They were quiet indications that your perception was already shifting, even if you did not fully acknowledge it at the time. You have reached a point where your awareness is stronger than your hesitation. In the past, you might have ignored these signals, convincing yourself that everything was fine or that you were overthinking. But now, you are more attentive. You are more honest with yourself. You are willing to look at situations as they are, not as you wish them to be. That shift is powerful. It means you are no longer avoiding clarity. You are stepping into it. And when clarity arrives, it can feel intense, not because it is negative, but because it changes how you understand everything around you. The phrase that only you did not know carries a deeper meaning. It does not mean that others hold knowledge that you lack. It means that your awareness had not yet caught up with what was already unfolding. There are times when life continues moving while we are still processing previous experiences. When your awareness finally aligns with reality, it can feel like you are discovering something late, but in truth, you are discovering it at the exact moment you are ready to understand it. That timing matters. It ensures that when you see the truth, you can respond with stability instead of confusion. You may begin to reflect on recent situations with a different perspective. Things that once seemed unclear now start to make sense. Patterns that you did not notice before become visible. Conversations, actions, or behaviors take on new meaning. This is how awareness deepens. It is not forced. It unfolds naturally when your attention becomes more focused. The truth you are recognizing does not need to be dramatic to be important. Even a small shift in understanding can change your direction completely. At the same time, this message is guiding you to remain calm and grounded as this clarity develops. There is no need to react quickly or make sudden decisions. Understanding comes first. When you fully understand a situation, your actions become more effective. You do not act out of emotion. You act out of clarity. That is what allows you to move forward with confidence instead of doubt. The purpose of this realization is not to overwhelm you, but to guide you toward better decisions. You may also notice that your trust in your own perception is growing. You are no longer relying entirely on external validation to confirm what you feel. You are beginning to trust your own observations. That trust is important. It allows you to navigate situations with independence and awareness. When you trust yourself, you are less likely to ignore important signs. You become more aligned with your own direction. As this part settles within you, recognize that you are not being left behind or excluded from anything. You are stepping into awareness at the right moment. The truth you are seeing is not arriving too late. It is arriving at the exact time you are capable of understanding it fully. And that understanding is what will guide your next steps, not with urgency, but with calm certainty and clarity that continues to grow as you move forward. Beloved soul, As this message reaches its final depth, everything that once felt intense now becomes clear and steady, because what you are experiencing is not fear, it is awareness completing itself. The idea that something shocking happened is no longer about surprise, it is about understanding finally coming together. You are not discovering something completely new, you are recognizing something that has been forming quietly in your life, something your intuition may have already touched but your mind had not fully accepted. Now that gap is closing. What you feel and what you understand are beginning to align, and that alignment creates clarity. There was a time when you might have avoided looking deeper into certain situations, not because you were unaware, but because you were not ready to fully process what you sensed. You may have chosen comfort over clarity, or patience over confrontation, or silence over questioning. Those choices were not wrong. They were part of your process. But now you have reached a point where your awareness is strong enough to face things as they are without feeling overwhelmed. That is growth. That is why this moment feels different. It is not forcing you into realization, it is meeting you at a level where you can understand without losing your balance. The phrase, "last chance," now reveals its true meaning. It is not about something being taken away, it is about a moment where clarity becomes undeniable. You have the opportunity to see things clearly now instead of continuing in uncertainty. When clarity becomes available and you choose to accept it, everything begins to shift. Your decisions become more precise. Your actions become more intentional. You stop moving in confusion and start moving with direction. This is not pressure. This is alignment. You may now notice how your perception has changed compared to before. Situations that once felt complicated now feel simpler. You can identify what is right and what is not with less effort. You can sense what aligns with you and what does not. This is not because the world has changed suddenly, it is because you have changed. Your awareness has expanded, and with that expansion comes the ability to see truth more clearly. That clarity is not something to fear. It is something to trust. At the same time, this message reminds you to remain calm and grounded as you move forward. There is no need to react quickly or make decisions based on emotion alone. Clarity gives you the space to think, to reflect, and to act with intention. When you move from this place, your actions are stronger and more effective. You are not responding to pressure, you are responding to understanding. That difference changes everything. You may also feel a growing sense of confidence in your own perception. You are beginning to trust what you see, what you feel, and what you understand without needing constant confirmation from others. This trust is important because it allows you to move forward independently. You are no longer second-guessing every thought or feeling. You are recognizing patterns, understanding situations, and making decisions with a clearer mind. That is the real shift happening within you. As this message comes to a close, let it leave you with a sense of calm certainty rather than urgency. You are not missing anything. You are not too late. You are exactly at the point where awareness has become strong enough to guide you clearly. The truth you are recognizing is not here to disturb you, it is here to guide you toward better understanding and better decisions. And as you move forward with that clarity, you will realize that what once felt hidden was always within your reach, waiting for you to see it with the awareness you now have. Comment, "I see clearly," if this resonates. Like and subscribe for more messages like this.